Okay. Well, hello. Today we are joined by Bernardo from Angola. Nice to have you here. Bernardo, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course I can. So telling you that it's a pleasure to me being here with you today, Mr. Bryden, and thank you very much for this invitation. My name is Bernardo Jose. I'm from Angola. I'm 21 years old. I live in Luanda City, concretely at some Zanga neighborhood together with my parents. Speaking a little bit about my professional life, I'm nursing because I was graduated like this in my high school. But by day, I've been using my time to teach English to others. I work for Winterson School Center here from my community.
Okay, fantastic. Wonderful to have you here. So today we're going to be discussing a bit the topic of motivation. Okay, and I look forward to hearing what we can bring up on the topic. Okay, so to get us started, then, what do you think are some of the most effective strategies for maintaining long-term motivation in both personal and professional settings?
Of course, to maintain the motivation, we need as student, we need as worker, and so on. I'm gonna speak a little bit about English student,
Mm.
just to motivate my English students. I have been used to join them to other English speaker just to motivate them to start and to speak English very well.
Yes, yes, indeed. And how do you think intrinsic motivation can differ from extrinsic motivation, and which is more sustainable?
Okay, when we're talking about intrinsic motivation, we're talking about a motivation which come from us. This motivation come from within us into
Mm.
us. This is intrinsic motivation, and we are talking about when we are talking about extrinsic motivation, we are talking about motivation which come from outside, inspired by outside, like teachers, students, classmates, and so on.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, sure. And in what ways do you think leaders and managers maybe can foster motivation among their team members? What do you think about that point?
Yeah, yeah, of course. As leader, they have a principal responsibility to give them examples. And I believe that giving them example, they can just inspire the him team, him classes, just to keep on and giving good work.
Yeah, yeah. And how can maybe individuals identify and overcome obstacles that hinder their motivation?
Okay, I believe that we must have qualities such as we must be self-determinated. We must have our self-esteem just to recognize our limit and know that even we are like this in this situation, we might improve more and speak and doing the things we are about to do.
Mm. Yes, yes, certainly I agree. What role do you think goal setting plays in maintaining motivation? And what do you think might be some of the characteristics of effective goals?
Okay, when we are talking about goals, we must be realist about that goals.
Mm.
We must put the goals that we know we can achieve that goals. And the goals can help us just to walk and to do right things according the goals we put.
Mm. And what about rewards and incentives? Can they maybe impact motivation, or maybe could the effect be negative?
About goals,
Yeah, yeah, sure. About kind of, is it good to give people like a reward or an incentive to try and achieve their goals, or maybe have a different opinion on that point?
so I guess I've got difficult to listen. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, of course, certainly. So yeah, so idea that I was saying is that some people, they think it's a good idea to give yourself a reward, right, for passing a goal or making progress towards a goal, right? Um, For example, you might say, if I make some progress towards this goal, I can have my favorite pizza or something like this, right? As like a reward. What do you think about that kind of idea about giving yourself a reward in return for making progress towards goals?
Okay, for sure, we need another strength just to progress. Okay, and it means that when we are in another people, when we are fronting on the people and give our abilities, we show our abilities to the people. I
Mm,
guess it can help us just to achieve our dreams, our goals.
yes, yes, certainly. Do you think that there's anything that we can do perhaps to help, to assist other people to stay motivated?
Okay, the things we must do, the principal things I guess we must do as chairman, as teacher, and so on, is just build up people when they make a correct things.
Mm,
It can just up our self-esteem and give opportunity that just to stay well, about ourselves.
mm, yes. In your personal case, are there any examples from your own experience where it's maybe been difficult for you to stay motivated?
Of course, really, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my English story.
Okay,
It
sure.
started in 2018, and I didn't really know what I'm getting myself into.
Hmm.
But during the time, because of my persistence, yeah, it was so difficult to learn English because
Hmm.
that time I was kiddie. Yeah, but
Hmm.
I was persistent. Reason why I could acquire knowledge, and I could just gain motivation to start. So here in Angola, we've got a bit here centers around of our community. They have been made themselves on a Friday or something like this just to speak English. And then I got a motivation at that time just to visit another center, and really it contribute and 100%, I guess 50% to stay more motivated to start English.
I see. So at these centers, what happens at these centers? What do the classes consist of exactly?
Okay, this center here, we have been teaching English here, this center, and we've got program. Uh, Monday we've got music lesson, and in my center it happen like this. And Tuesday we've got the grammar lesson and so on. But Friday we save that day that just for practice, for meeting, speaking a little bit about what you learned about in the weekend. And all the meeting on the center here, they are used to do like this. And we have been visiting another center just to acquire experience and knowledge.
Mm.
And that meeting has been inspired so many English students to keep on studying English here in Angola.
Mhm. And of course, you've been studying English for a few years now. Mm, How do you feel that studying English has benefited you, and how has it maybe improved your life, do you think?
Okay, of course, studying English was so until now is I can say like this. It's so good for me because English language is a track which doesn't have a end, is a way which doesn't have an end. Reason why until now I can learn many things in English because it's now our official language. We are speaking Portuguese. And study English helped me so much because here in Angola we've got
Mhm.
in academic school subject
Mhm.
which called by English language.
Sure. Hmm.
Yeah, and I can just pace successfully in this subject because of English.
Hmm.
And right now I've got the opportunity to talk with you because of English.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, because my
today,
Port my Portuguese is not so great, right? No, non-existent
of course,
basically, right?
of course, my English is not so good, but
No,
today,
you're doing great.
yeah, I can speak English with to so many people. Can just share idea with so many people who
Yeah.
speaks English because of English because I studied English.
Well, this is the point, right? English, of course, for the time being at least, is the global language and opens up a world of opportunities. I'm interested,
Of course.
during your time studying English, have you perhaps identified any differences of any kind between English and Portuguese?
Okay, there are so many differences between English and Portuguese. And I can say that speaking Portuguese is more difficult than speaking English.
Mhm.
Yeah, because as I told you, we've got English language and the Portuguese language as subject in academic school. Here is common seeing one student of Portuguese taking a field note mark in Portuguese. Instead, they are able to take a great merit in English than in Portuguese. You know, yeah, I guess it's more difficult than learning English. But
Mhm.
yeah, we can learn English. It's possible.
And this difficulty with Portuguese, is it because of the grammar maybe, or maybe something else?
I guess it's because of the grammar and some students here are not focused.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just one final point before we finish off for today. Bernardo, what are your goals for the future? What would you like to do going forward?
for the future, great question.
Mhm.
So for the future, I hope to be a good English speaker.
Mhm.
I hope to use my English just to speak with wherever people who speak this language, and I hope to be well, how can I say this in English? A translation or a
Mm.
translator, to see the way of
Translator, sure,
English language,
or to work in translation, sure.
of course. Yeah,
Yes.
this is the
I,
way.
I think I heard from one of your colleagues some time ago that there's a significant number of foreign companies working in Angola, I think in the oil industry especially, right? So do you think there might be some opportunities there to work with international companies, perhaps?
With English,
Yes, well, because you said that you'd be interested in working in translation, English and Portuguese, maybe for some of those larger companies, the international companies.
yes, of course. This is
Mhm.
one of my aim, just to study English to be translated, Portuguese and English and Portuguese.
Very good. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I'm sure that we'll speak again in the future. All right, bye.
Okay.
See
Thank
ya.
you very much, Mr. Bryden, for this opportunity.
My pleasure.